Thursday. I see lots of, most of you are, maybe one or two have been on my weekly power hours. So I know we have some more people joining. So I wanted to say thank you for being here and also let you know if you don't know or aren't aware, I'm live every single Thursday. I have a passion for teaching. I've been handling these crazy short sales, distress situations since 2007. And so I have a lot of knowledge, a lot of things that I can offer. And so I do go live every single Thursday here. If you're not a part of my free group, let me know. I can post the link. I do post in there every single week as to what's going on for the following week and stuff. So all the replays, everything gets posted there. So I'm just going to let some more people in. But yeah, thank you for joining. My name is Heather Keller. I am the owner of Blueprint Short Sales. I founded it back in 2019 because I felt there was a need to really help and educate homeowners across the country. But I can't do that unless I have agents who are compassionate and empathetic for these homeowners. You can absolutely make a living around this niche. I have since 2007. I never got a second job. I never got a side hustle. None of that. I just strictly kept my eye on distressed sales. And I do keep in touch with a lot of the homeowners now. And because of that, it does lead to other deals. So I want agents to know that even in this market, there's families that are struggling, and you absolutely can make this your niche and make six figures. And so I'm actually going to show you my income later. I don't love to do that, but I want to prove to you that you can have this successful niche inside of real estate and still be, a mom and a wife and volunteer at grandkids school, children's school, whatever. So anyways, I like to make this super conversational. So I want you to ask questions. There's probably not a question that I cannot answer. So just post it in the chat and I'll either pause or we will get to it. Okay. I always cover a lot in these. So let's go ahead and get started. Also, I would love to know where some of you are located. I know some of you are where you're at. So if you want to just chat where you're at, that would be awesome. Then I can say hello. So today's weekly power hour is really like some key factors and how to market to pre-foreclosure families. Arizona. Okay, welcome, Brittany. Houston. Hey, Donna. Long Island. I love that. Anyone in Illinois? Oh, yeah. Hey, Danielle. How are you? Okay, cool. So like I said, I have the chat open. Please post. I always say no question is silly or stupid. Philadelphia, my husband's family is in Harrisburg, so welcome, Mary. No question is silly or stupid. Okay, so the best way to learn is to ask questions. Hey, Jan, Virginia Beach. Okay, so two key factors and how to market to these families in a pre-foreclosure status. What are we going to cover today? Well, there's some key differences when it's pre-foreclosure and auction. And I think that's where there's a lot of confusion. And so we're going to talk about that. There's a lot of people all over the country. So there's judicial and non-judicial, and we'll briefly touch on that. And then my 8-letter drip campaign, okay? And then really just strategies to help you stand out, okay? So make sure you stay till the end. All of this is super great. Take notes. I don't mind giving away the slides. If you email me at the end, I will give you my email as well. Okay. All right. So pre-foreclosure versus auction. There is a huge difference. Okay. So explaining each stage, let me just touch on that. Pre-foreclosure is basically when the homeowner has it filed with the county. And we're going to talk about judicial and non-judicial because it is important. You have to understand how your state processes a foreclosure because the more you know, the more you can hold the hand and educate these homeowners. They are struggling. They need a professional like you who really truly can help them. If you're not understanding any of this, you got to have a team around you because you don't want to get the sellers in a pickle, okay? I see it all the time. So a pre-foreclosure is when the seller has either an NOD filed, and we'll talk more about that, or a lis pendens. So it is filed with the county that the property's in, okay? So that, and it does vary the time frame. Again, we'll talk about that. So pre-foreclosure, when they have an NOD or a lis pendens, all the way up to that auction, okay? So the auction is when the court or the bank or whoever's involved in that process, depending on your state, says, yep, they are at the end of the foreclosure process. Boom, you now have a sheriff's sale or auction date. You know, it's depends on where you're at. Same thing, okay? Throughout that process, and this is where there's a lot of confusion, and I'm going to give you an example. The homeowner still owns the property. Their name is on the title. So we just listed a townhouse this week and the guy was like, well, I already have a foreclosure. What do I need to do? No, he does not have a foreclosure on his credit yet. That would happen after it forecloses on, which their auction date is March 20th. Okay. Now he's an auction date lead, not a pre-foreclosure. Okay, because there's an actual auction. But their name is still on the title of the property. So they have to be involved throughout the entire process, even if they have that auction. That's where there's confusion with these homeowners. He has a lot of late payments on his credit, but it has not officially been foreclosed. If it was, then it would become an REO, okay, real estate owned. And my team, my community, we don't want to help the banks, okay? We want to help the homeowner throughout the pre-foreclosure or the auction process, okay? Why? Well, I like to help. And if you like to help and you have that empathy and compassion, this is going to be perfect for you too, okay? I don't want to help the bank. They're too big, they're too bad. I want to help the homeowner. And that could lead to long-term success for you down the road if you do it the right way now, okay? So that's pre-foreclosure and auction. Let's talk about the best ways to find these families. Now let's go back to St. Augustine. Okay, well, let's take a look at, I know, so that's Florida. So Danielle, what county is that in? And then Donna, Houston's in what county? St. John's, okay. So that's Florida. And Donna, are you still there? Can you tell me Houston is in which county? Harris, okay. I thought so, but I just wanted to be sure. I'm not even sure sometimes. I wake up and I'm like, what day is it? All right, the reason why I'm asking that is because I'm going to pull up our lead system, which some of you have probably seen me do this before, but I want to explain. This is where we find our pre-foreclosure leads, okay? Now, again, that is different. You have to separate. You cannot market the same thing to pre-foreclosure and auction. It's got to be separate. And today is nothing about auction. I'm just giving you the difference, okay? So I want to show you. Now, St. John's County, where Danielle is at, Florida is the same as Illinois. Okay, and we're going to talk about those processes here in a minute. Donna, in Texas, it's done differently. So let me go into my system and I'm just going to show you. So Donna probably, so like a state like Florida or Illinois, we're going to have probably more pre-foreclosures because the process is longer. All right, hold on. All right, St. John's. Is it county? There we go. Yeah, it's okay. I got it. Thank you. Oh, wow. Okay, so Property Radar is a system we use. It looks like they just updated literally everything for us, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we go by counties, and you probably have heard me say that before. Look, you do not have to be an expert in that area, okay? So one point here in Chicagoland, I was working like 9 different counties. I don't work as much anymore because I do have other people working in those counties, but you can drive up to, like, for me, I drove up to an hour and a half. So just keep that in mind. You really have to understand how the bank processes the short sale, or how they go about a distress sale if there is equity, and most importantly, how the end investor operates as well. Okay, so I would encourage you to do more than one county unless you have a ton. And we're going to just take a look at these two. So, Danielle, there's Johns County. You would go down to foreclosure. Uh, Property Radar, let me touch on that. I've tested every single system you can possibly think of in all these years since 2007. Okay. I have found that Property Radar is the best because it's easy, it's simple, it's easy to separate the two, pre-foreclosure and auction. And there's just a lot of data. Okay. The support is amazing. So if you're looking for something, it would be that. All right. So we're going to go down, and we're not going to look at auction. We're just going to look at the families that are in a pre-foreclosure status, and then add criteria. So Danielle has 99 in that particular county. Okay. So like I said, I do recommend you do. Right now I'm doing 3 different counties. But our numbers are probably a little bit higher than this. But 99. So keep that in mind, because with a pre-foreclosure, it's going to be more of a drip plan. Okay. And I'll explain all that to you in a little bit. Duval County? Okay, I'll look at that too. Oh, wow. So there you go. 666. I mean 661. Okay, so that's a lot. Now, would you market to every single one of those? Probably not. And there's criteria to, for all that. We won't be able to get into that today, but there's that. Now let's take a look at Harris County. Oh, wow. Okay. Donna, so 1,200 people in Harris County, that is a lot. But just keep that number in mind, because I'm going to touch on the different processes, and that's going to be important to understand when you're marketing to pre-foreclosures. Okay. This is really cool. This just must have updated. It was not like this 2 days ago, but it's telling you how many are underwater, how many are divorced. This is really cool. They just must have added this. How many are in bankruptcy, which if you've been on my weekly power hours, we talk often about bankruptcy because my #1 lead source. So this is pretty cool. Okay, so that's where we get our data. Okay, so I want you to know that is the best way to find families in a pre-foreclosure status. The other great thing is, like, you make the list and you can go in and you can see everything, like when the NOD was filed. It's a combined source. So you can find bankruptcy stuff here, you can find auction here, you can find pre-foreclosure, and it's very, very easy. So it's all in one spot. So you don't have to go to the county, you don't have to do any of that, okay? So just keep those numbers in mind, Donna and Danielle, because I'm going to go back to those. Just making the numbers on my sheet. Okay. Okay, so why is it crucial to separate the marketing? So when someone's in a pre-foreclosure status, they got more time on their side, okay? But they also know that they can sit a little bit longer in the house, okay? Lots of families are currently in denial. At the end of this presentation, we have come up with a really great way to help these families in denial, and it has been very successful. But the pre-foreclosure Again, time is on their side a little bit, a lot more than the auction. So you have more time, okay? In the auction status, they don't. They need our help like yesterday. So the reason why you have to separate it is really to help the homeowner, okay? You can't send the same letter or postcard or book or flow chart to pre-foreclosure and auction. You do have to separate it, okay? And we've talked about auction before. Auction should be going out every single week, but that isn't going to be the case for pre-foreclosure. We're going to get a little bit further into that. Pre-foreclosure, like I said, it's more of like a drip plan, educate them, have them see you face with the name, right? They're going to continue to get your letters. They'll either call from that, or maybe it'll turn into an auction and then you start sending them auction letters or postcards. Okay. Does this part make sense? Does anyone have questions there? I guess the other crucial thing is, like, if you send an auction letter to a pre-foreclosure, they're going to call you and be like, probably screaming in your face, like, hey, I don't have an auction. So you really have to understand the data in your area. And then if you send like a pre-foreclosure letter to an auction, well, they may not see the urgency. You have to create the urgency. The call to action is real with the auction, not as much with the pre-foreclosure. So we do go about it very differently. All right, so let's take a look at judicial versus non-judicial. So in a judicial state, so that would be Florida, Illinois, Ohio, and I do have a map, so if you're not sure, you'll know here in a second. But judicial foreclosures, in simple terms, it goes through the court process, okay? And it is lengthy. It is lengthy because it is required to go through the courts. And then a lis pendens, so that means suit pending, that is filed with the county, okay? So Danielle, in Florida, so if you look on here on these and you go to that specific house, you have to make the list. I mean, I can do it when we're done, but you go to that specific house and it's going to show lis pendens, okay? That is how you know that they were served papers. So that's for judicial. Now that's simple terms, okay? I highly recommend building a relationship with an attorney that knows the ins and outs, because it does vary slightly depending on your state. So if you're going to handle this niche, just understand, and it takes time, right? The overall, make sure you understand the overall process. So judicial, Danielle for us, and then Donna, non-judicial for you. So non-judicial, in simple terms, it does not have to go through the courts, okay? So because of that is a shorter process. So these 1,216, these families, they are gonna move very quickly to an auction status, okay? How quickly? I don't really know. I mean, here I see it all over the board. Like, we just listed a house that they haven't made a mortgage payment in a year. And then we have another coming up that they don't even have an auction, but it's been 3 years. So it's kind of all over the board. Again, that's why you should be creating these relationships with different attorneys. But anyways, Donna, yours will go through the process a lot quicker. Danielle, the number that you had, 661, you'll probably check it often and it may still be that number. So they don't move as quickly through the process because we have to go through the courts and you gotta schedule a court appearance, and it's just very, very lengthy. Okay. Any questions on that before I show you the map? Okay, just remember, post any questions that you have. All right, so here is the map. So these in a blue are all judicial. So Pennsylvania, someone said Philadelphia, like us, okay? Texas, California, all these are non-judicial. So it's not required to go through the courts. I do feel like a lot of these states are at the top of the foreclosure filings. I do keep a track of that. Usually Illinois, Ohio, Florida, they're at the top. We also see Michigan a lot and Texas. But now again, there are some states that actually have both. So that's why, yeah, understand that I'm telling you the difference between judicial and non-judicial, which is so important when you're sending out my marketing, is to understand the process, understand the data in your area, okay? But speak to an attorney so you know exactly what's going on. Hey, does my state only process a foreclosure as judicial, or are there some judicial and non-judicial? Okay? Any questions on that? I don't think I've reviewed that before, like super in depth, but I usually do when it comes to a pre-foreclosure, just because a pre-foreclosure is like the first time they may be seeing you or marketing in general, okay? I think by the time people get to an auction status, they're probably getting a ton of mail. And that is also where you have to stand out. If you start to market when someone is in an auction, you have to make sure it's super standout-ish, okay? But it is important to understand judicial versus non-judicial. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so what are some strategies? We're going to talk about the letters, how often I send them out. I'm going to show you a sample one, but you have to position yourself as the go-to specialist. And there's different techniques and things that you can do, so it doesn't take you as long as it took me. Come to these weekly sessions. Consider joining our community. You will get there a lot faster because I don't give you half-assed stuff. It is everything that has got me to where I'm at today, okay? My to-do list, I mean, you name it, it's there. But it's so crucial to be consistent. That it's simple. Just be consistent, okay? If you're not consistent, it's not going to work, okay? We have calendars. We will tell you when to send them. But listen, if you're sending to auction, and I'm telling you this because I want you to know the difference. The auction family should get a letter, a postcard, or a flow chart from you every single week, okay? My team pulls the data on Wednesdays. They prep it, they prepare it. The letters go out on Friday. If you are planning to be consistent with a pre-foreclosure, okay, then you want to pull the data every 3 to 5 weeks or so, okay? So let me explain that. So for Donna, we know that she is in Texas. We know that because it does not go through the courts, it is a shorter process. So I would recommend to her to set up her pre-foreclosure list here and go in every 3 weeks and pull the data, analyze the data, review the data, review it from the previous 3 weeks, prep the letters and get it going, okay? Now, if that's confusing, don't worry. We got spreadsheets that are going to help you, okay? Because again, this is more of like a drip plan. You want to drip on these people to get them to call you, okay? So consistency. So non-judicial foreclosures, let's go back right here. Non-judicial, I would say you want to send them out every 3 weeks just because they are going through the process pretty quickly. And there are 8 letters in the pre-foreclosure campaign, okay? For non-judicial, I would do every 4 to 5 weeks. So probably 4 depending on how many you have. So 661 for Danielle is pretty high. So you may consider doing it every 4 weeks because it's going to take you probably maybe a week to prepare, right? So take that into consideration. But the pre-foreclosure do not have to go out every single week. I mean, we want to bombard them and educate them, but we don't want to, I said that wrong. We want to educate them, but we don't want to bombard them, okay? We don't want to make them super annoyed. So 3 to 5 weeks, okay? But consistency is key. You're probably not going to get a call on that first letter. Will you get a call? Maybe, but these letters are highly effective and it's important to be consistent, okay? I would also join as many community events. You've got to get yourself out there. When I first started, I was going to as many community events as I possibly could. And you don't necessarily have to pay for those. I know a lot of agents don't want to spend any money. Let me give you a little secret. Pick and choose, okay? Because you do have to spend money to make money, okay? And you also need write-offs, okay? You got to have those write-offs. You got to keep track of those. It's going to help you down the road with your taxes. So just pick and choose. Maybe there's an event that you want to sponsor, okay? Great write-off. But you do have to attend those community events, okay? You can set up a table. There's lots you could do. You can provide resources. There's books and stuff we have, but just educate the community. They'll get to know you. Oh, yeah, that's Danielle. She was a part of the St. Johns County Fair or whatever. I mean, there's so many different community events. I would just Google community events in your area. Another thing you could do is definitely join the Chamber of Commerce locally. I'm a member. My husband has a business here. He's also a member. So people just know us because he's heavily involved in the community. Oh yeah, your wife's that short sale lady, right? So that will take a little bit of time. So do it now, but just get your face out there. And then of course, you want to surround yourself with like-minded professionals. Not every single agent understands, why you're even in this niche. People tell me all the time, I don't know why you do what you do. It sounds complicated. If I listened to those people back in 2007, I would not be where I'm at today. I kept the noise around me out and I listened to my heart and my gut, and I knew that I wanted to make a difference in the lives of these families. Okay, here I am, still doing it. So a lot of managing brokers don't understand the ins and outs or the complexities of these types of deals. So they will try to steer you away, okay? My managing broker, in fact, I taught a class for my office yesterday via Zoom, understanding short sales, and it was great. My managing broker, every single time a short sale situation arises or bankruptcy or something along those lines, they always come to me. Okay. And that can be you. You can teach classes to your office, try to get agents to give you deals. I mean, there's so many ways to get deals and not have to spend a ton of money. Okay. Questions so far? Some of these sessions, we get a ton of questions. Any? All righty. Okay, well, we're going to move on. Let's talk about the 8 letters. So why 8 letters? When a family is in a pre-foreclosure status, remember, they're probably not very motivated, okay? They know that they can sit for a while. So we like to educate them about the process. So a couple years ago, I tested these letters. So just so you know, this isn't some, hey, come join me, just let me hand out a bunch of marketing. No. I want to help families across the country. And the only way to do that is to test this stuff and then train and explain it to all of you. Okay. So I tested these and they're effective. They're effective because we're educating the homeowner as to what is happening throughout their process. Okay. So that's why we have the 8 letters. So there's 8 things that we're covering in each letter that is going to help them. And I'm going to show you that. Again, how often? So 3 to 5 weeks. So again, for Donna, I would probably pull every 2 weeks, give yourself 1 week to prep, and then make sure they're going out on week 3. And that's something you just easily put in your calendar as a reminder. And eventually, once you get the hang of it, you can hand that off, delegate it out to assistant, transaction coordinator. My transaction coordinator does all of this now. And then for Danielle, I would probably pull every 4 weeks and give yourself a week to send out. So there's 5, total 5, okay? There are other resources available. If you've attended my previous weekly power hours, I have wrote books that you can have access to as if you wrote them. You can edit them inside of Canva if you're a Canva lover. Otherwise, I do have a design coordinator virtually. So Ideas to Avoid Foreclosure. That's a great book to hand out to families that are in a pre-foreclosure status, especially if they're in denial. It gives them options and it explains it to them, okay? We have the Ultimate Guide to Selling Your Home as a Short Sale, the Ultimate Guide to Selling Your Home During or After Bankruptcy, okay? So I've already wrote all of that. You do not have to reinvent anything. So those are additional resources. They're great to have at like community events, the Chamber of Commerce. All my books are there, so people that come into the chamber or any events, they have them. Okay, so let's take a sneak peek. This is what letter 1 looks like, and we have videos on how you can edit it yourself, okay? We keep it simple. We like bullet points, and this is going to be a video of you. Don't worry, we will help you through that. It is good for these families to see you, okay? So you're gonna wanna scan this, okay? So all the letters are simple, but this is what included. So number 1, the time frame and what to expect in the foreclosure process, okay? So that's this letter. Then the next letter they get, 4 important strategies to implement now. So crucial. And trust me, they're opening their mail. You can track when people watch your, video of the QR codes. What options do you really have when facing foreclosure? So they're going to see all of these. Oh, I'm going to get the next letter, and this is what it's going to be. Help, bankruptcy versus foreclosure. A lot of families think that bankruptcy is worse than foreclosure. That is false. Foreclosure is like a felony. You do not want it on your credit. So we're going to go in and explain that to them. And you don't have to know this. All you have to do is copy my videos. We have the transcripts, okay? 3 truths of a short sale you need to know. Your future. Will you owe money, renting, buying again? Those are the questions that we get. Will a for sale sign be used? And then bad things happen to good people. You'll be okay. Essentially words of encouragement for them. It does. Bad things happen to good people. This is just a season in their life. We can come in. We are not scammers. We are not trying to take advantage of them. We will not ask them for any money. And we can help hold your hand throughout the process. We can help you find a rental. I had my rental agent come on and do a training on how to do all of that. Okay. But this letter looks a little weird because it's in Google, but you're able to download it and obviously change my information to yours. Okay. And the colors or whatever, this is my personal logo. So, and then make sure you're following the rules of your area, obviously. But these are the 8 letters. Now, this is going to vary slightly for like Texas right here, time frame a little bit. But we do talk about all that. Well, the rest of these are pretty much the same. But this first one is going to vary depending if you're judicial or non-judicial. Questions on the letter. That's a sneak peek. That's letter 1. There's 8 of them. So this is a sample of the letter. I don't give them away. It's a part of the coaching community. Where are you located? Oh, Illinois. Are you Chicagoland? Because right now we're not even accepting anyone in Chicagoland. I'll talk about that more. But any other questions on the letter or the sample or why I say that, or a question on, one of these bullet points? All righty. Quiet group today. Maybe pre-foreclosure is boring. Should go back to the auction and bankruptcy stuff. All right. The next slide I'm going to show you, so I have 2 companies. One is Blueprint Short Sales. Okay. That is my coaching company for agents across the country. I do not commingle funds. It is two separate companies. I am a realtor with Charles Rutenberg Realty. And so I have TKG Homes. When I close deals, obviously the check goes to Charles Rutenberg, and then Charles Rutenberg pays my company, TKG Homes. I am the only one that owns it. I recommend you be incorporated. I think it's an S Corp. I don't know, let my tax people handle all that. But the numbers I am showing you have nothing to do with Blueprint. So I want to clarify that. That is just my real estate. And I'm showing you this because I want you to understand that consistency is key. There are some months that I don't even get a phone call. And then other months I'm like, holy crap. What happened? Okay. Consistency is key. Now, inside of the coaching community, every single fall, we go through a game planning series, which is essentially analyzing your year and getting organized for the next year. This isn't just short sale base. When I say everything, I mean everything. So every single year live, I analyze my stuff. And every single year for many, many years, bankruptcy has been my #1 lead source, and my direct mail marketing has been #2. Okay. So again, the reason why there's a huge discrepancy, like big number here, is I got a referral. No, actually, it came from a postcard. It was a $1.6 million deal, and I ended up having both sides of it, and the bank paid 6% off of like 1.5. So in August of 2020, between all my deals, I think it was 150,000 alone. So I'm showing you that because I want to prove to you, no problem, Marilyn, have a great day, that you absolutely can make 6 figures in this niche. And I am working on pulling the 1099s so you can actually see the numbers on the 1099s. But I have to go back through everything, so I just asked my tax accountant to pull these for now. All right. Let's take a sneak peek at the actual pre-foreclosure lead generation blueprint, okay? So that is here. I make things super easy. So if you've been on my Zooms before, you know, like this is like a 6th grader could do it, okay? I really believe in simple videos, step by step. Don't go in and start skipping, okay? Everything is in order for a reason, okay? So we do a welcome, your commission potential. So on short sales, you should be making 3.5% from the bank. So even if you're closing 1 deal a month, that is going to make a difference in your business. I'm pretty sure, right? But again, consistency, continue to build that pipeline, okay? So pre-foreclosure leads will show you how to set up your account here on Property Radar and how to set up the PFL list. So that's pre-foreclosure list. How to download those initial leads, how to make sure you're pulling the right information in your field set. And then we go through and we do an introduction to every single letter. Then we will help you make your QR codes and your videos, and then how to edit the letters. And then are you going to print them at home or are you going to get them printed? We have a printing company here that offers discounts to anyone that's a part of my community. You don't have to use them, but still set up an account, because if you can save a few bucks, awesome, right? And then all the supplies that I use to send out these letters, everything is linked. How do you pull? So monthly, so that would be every 2 weeks or 4 weeks, depending on where you're at. Explaining the CSV file that you're pulling, how to get organized on a monthly basis. So you want my Google spreadsheet to organize? There you go. Direct mail marketing tips, and then the final prep for those letters, okay? Then you're going to get calls. Well, we don't love scripts. Don't use a script when it comes to these types of homeowners. They need you to just listen, but there's certain questions inside of here that you can ask, okay? Which is really great. The homeowner financial hardship questionnaire is the brand new one. It's about 3 pages. Print it, carry it with you everywhere, okay? That's essentially your script. Follow-up plan. Sometimes these people are not ready right now. So how do you go about that? I'll teach you. What should your voicemail say? Because you're not going to be able to physically answer every single call, right? And then how do you help a homeowner if they want to keep the property or if they want to sell the property? This is where our awesome flow chart will come in. So you can provide that to them during this time if needed. And we'll talk about the flow chart in a minute. And then pre-foreclosure. If you want step-by-step checklists, it is all right here. How to do a final preparations for your appointments, our listing strategies, during the appointment, after the appointment, final prep for the listing. Checklist before and after. Short sale, then you get the short sale offer. So what the heck do you do now? Where do you get all that documentation? We have it already. 6 pages of lender contact information you will not have to go find. How do you request additional documentation? Look, here's all of them, everything. Okay. Additional documentation, there's a template that we use to send that out. How do you review the title commitment? We've had tons of trainings on this. It is so crucial. That is one of the biggest mistakes is agents don't know what's going on with the title. You're going to have to properly clear it. Let me review the HUD before you send it in, okay? We want to make sure it's accurate before you send it in. And then submitting the packet, communication, best dates and times to call. How do we keep track of all that? We have it in our Google Calendar. So tomorrow we have 2 leads, 2 deals we have to call, both with M&T. See, we keep track of all of our conversations. They're all there. Why do we do that? Well, we want to make sure as we call, we can go back and reference that. But also if we ever need to do some sort of affidavit, we have all of that information, okay? These are the little things that are truly going to help your business down the road. All right, where was I? BPO and appraisal process. This is probably between this and the title commitment our super priorities, biggest thing when it comes to a short sale situation. And then the short sale approval letter and then closing. Okay, so it takes you through from the very, very beginning of getting the leads all the way through closing. That is a sneak peek. I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek of other stuff. So this is our community. Oops, it was our community. Hold on. Right now we have about 133 agents across the country, and we are all there to support. We are all there to collaborate. At the end of last year, we collaborated together on a flow chart. That flow chart helps these families that are in denial. It is a super unique piece that no one else across the country besides Blueprint is using. Okay, we've had a lot of success. The 2 that are going up this week, one's gone up from the flow chart. Okay. We're very big on communication. Every single week, you get an email as to what's going on, the different trainings, everything is recorded, okay? Live class schedule, here's the recordings from this winter spring session. Here's everything from 2024. There's all the authorizations you need, the short sale packets, the listing documentation, including the indemnity agreement. You go in and search in here, and you're going to find trainings for the last 3 years. So you just search training and a ton of stuff is going to come up and you are able to navigate through all of this. Watch it. Bankruptcy stuff, non-bankruptcy, auction, pre-foreclosure. You got a question? It's all right here. So this group's been going on for about 3 years. So there's 3 years worth of data in here. Okay. That's when we were going through the game planning goals. All right. So that's a little bit of a sneak peek of our community. Everyone's pretty active here. We are on a mission. Our mission is to help 10,000 families. This was just updated yesterday. This is where we're at currently. So if you want to be a part of that, yeah, it's going to be really awesome when we get to that. So this was Karina. She was asking for, how do you find the lender contact information? Oh, just type anything in here. Lender contact. Oops. Lender contact information sheet. So see, it's right here. So it does get updated. I feel like it's been updated since then. It gets updated, it gets put into the group. Okay, so this is 6 pages of all of the lender contacts. So it's in the group. You just have to search. If you can't find it, we'd be happy to give it to you. So, all right, let's go back. I know there's a question. Yeah, we already went through all that, Shona. So you'll have to probably get the replay. Yep, I went through all of that. Okay, so let's go back. So joining the community, it is $20 a month. That's it. There's no commitments. If you decide you hate us, which you probably won't, you can leave. But this is going to allow you to collaborate with the best. This is going to allow you to ask questions when the people around you, when you're managing broker, they don't understand. Okay. Yeah, you may be in a different state, but the short sale process, the banks, they all work the same way, okay? So we want to help you navigate through that process with your families because that is only going to add to our missions number. 20 bucks a month, have access to the group. You can attend most of the trainings, okay? And you have access to 3 years worth of trainings archived, okay? Now, if you'd like the pre-foreclosure lead generation blueprint, for anyone that attended today, it's 20% off, okay? And that's going to end Saturday. $397.60 with the discount, PFL 2025. That gets you everything right here, okay? Everything we discussed. That's it. Well worth it, okay? All these modules, all the videos, you get instant access. You'll get an email from Stan, give you the link. Inside of that confirmation email, you will also get for free the flow chart. That's the bonus gift. The flow chart is something that you can include with these letters if you want. We are currently sending in our weekly auction. The auction we've had a lot of success with because they need our help like yesterday. So they're navigating through our flow chart to understand the options. And actually, we have a special training coming up on February 20th on exactly how to put all this together. That's a special training. So as long as you are a part of the $20 per month coaching community, you'll be able to watch that training. Although you won't have access to the flow chart, the flow chart is free with any of the courses. Okay. I think that's it. So I would love to answer any questions. No problem. I'm sorry. Yeah, we try to start like right at 11:30 Central, just because there's always like last week I think it ran for like an hour and a half. There's always questions. I want to make sure I can get to them and get through everything. But yeah, the recording. So let me give you my email. If you want the recording quicker, I can send it out later today once it's available. So info@blueprintshortsales.com. Let me post everything now. So if you have questions, I would love to answer any questions. Okay. So there's my email. This is the link for the $20 per month. Remember, there's no commitments. Like I said, if you decide you don't like us, but I don't think that's going to happen. We are very, very unique inside of this group. You join these coaching programs, and I actually really don't like the word coaching, and they give you like half of the stuff that they use. It is not like that here. If you want, email me. I would be happy to connect you with some members, but it is different because I am still doing everything that you're doing, and it isn't me, me, me. It's us, okay? And it's literally everything that I use. It's not 20% of what I use. And then this is for the pre-foreclosure lead. And the code is PFL 2025. And that'll be good until Saturday evening. We also have other options if you want to take a look at other courses. You can absolutely do that as well. And I'd be happy if you decide you want to get the pre-foreclosure and you're like, oh, I'm interested in something else, reach out and I would be happy to give you a discount. I really just want to help, agents get to where they want to be. And if you have people in pre-foreclosure auction status, You're not going to find any place else that has this much support or collaboration to truly help these homeowners. And that's what it's about. We really just want to help them. Thanks, Donna. Yep. Send me an email. Let me know. I can give you the replay, the links, whatever you want. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today. Like I said, we are live every single Thursday, and I'm going to stay on a little bit longer in case there's additional questions. Please, anything I can show you, just ask and I will reshare my screen. You're welcome, Danielle. Very intriguing, Chan. I get a lot of people that like the trainings and get excited because it's different. It will make you stand out. It's not, okay, come in and I'm going to tell you to post on social media. Nothing about my business since 2007 has ever been traditional. It's all been super unique. And I realize there's so many families struggling, and you may think there's not, but there are. I look at the data every single day. So it really does help you stand out. And I'm not saying stop your other business. It's just this is long-term stuff. So if you tell me where you're located, I can look up your numbers, Jan, if anyone else on here wants to know. Give me your state and then, maybe 3 or 4 counties you work in. Okay. I feel like Virginia's always tricky with their counties. They don't really go by counties, do they? Oh,
in my area, they go by city.
Okay.
That's why I gave you so many.
Chesapeake County?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now see, it says city.
Yeah, but it says county here.
Yep.
It's county here. And then Norfolk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just to give you an idea, we're going to look at pre-foreclosure for today. So there's 0. So I would not recommend you do the pre-foreclosure, but I'm pretty sure you have auction. You have 215 families that are in auction status. So right now we market heavily to auctions. They're all great ways to get leads, Jan, but that's why if this is something you're interested in, you either got to let me know your numbers now, because pre-foreclosure may not be for everyone. And it's
Why wouldn't there be any?
because you go through the process a lot quicker. Remember, we talked about judicial and non-judicial. So Virginia, see, you are a non-judicial state.
Right.
Not as large as Texas. Texas is really large, so they're trying to get through all those 1,200 people that I showed you for Donna's to get to auction. You don't have to go through the courts. So that's why I say it's so important for you to understand the data. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would still think there'd be some. So that.
And there could be, but it does go through the process a lot quicker. So I'm sending weekly. Right now we're targeting auctions really heavily for my team. And we send out, I think my team is sending out 135 letters this week. So where it would benefit you the most is the auction. We have an auction date lead generation blueprint.
Oh, so it would be a different blueprint than what you just
Yeah,
put.
I wouldn't recommend I mean, you can get the pre-foreclosure, but who are you going to send it to, right? I don't
Exactly.
want you to just buy it just to buy it. it would be the pre-foreclosure one, which is this one. And if you email me, I can give you a discount, but this auction one has, it does take you through the entire process like the pre-foreclosure, but it sets it up for auctions and how to get those auctions postponed. It has a postcard, a auction letter, an equity letter, and of course the flow chart. The flow chart for us, we're sending the flow chart and an auction letter 1 week, and then the flow chart and the postcard next week, and then we alternate. So the flow chart is really helping these families in this. They're at the end of the process. They need our help
Okay,
like
The
yesterday.
flow chart shows them where they are in the process.
The flow chart is going to give them the exact options that they have, because everyone thinks that they can keep the house. Well, you waited way too long and it's probably unlikely that you can keep it. Here's the options. Do you want to keep the property? Yes. Okay, if you want to keep the property and it's a yes, do you have a job? If they say yes, then it moves them through this part of the flow chart. If they have no, then it's these options.
Okay.
So that is really, really important because they're getting bad advice. They turn to the internet. And so it's a really, really, really great piece. And inside of the community, right here, we are doing a training on that on the 20th, specifically for the flow charts. So you can still attend even if you don't have access to the flow charts, but the flow chart is free with any of the course purchases.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how I even connected with you. So
I don't know. I get that all the time.
Like,
Not
where did
sure,
you come from?
but
Just
thank you
saw
for
it
being here.
and I thought I'll get on this. This looks good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. So let me put my email in one more time. Otherwise, any other questions? Okay. I hope everyone has a blessed afternoon, and hopefully I'll see you around.
Thank you.
You're welcome.